In this lesson, I want to demonstrate how arguments are handled when they're passed to methods in Java. When an argument is passed to a method, we say that it's passed by value. And what that means is that the compiler makes a copy of the value stored in the argument and works with that copy within the method definition, so that when you go back to the calling program, the original value of the argument hasn't changed, even if you directly modify it in the method definition. I've written a small program to demonstrate how that works, so let's take a look at it. First, look at the square method that I've written. This is a little bit different than the one we wrote to introduce this chapter. In that, I've written the squaring so that we directly modify num by multiplying it times itself and storing it back into the variable. So num is squared by times equal num. Then I write out the value just so we can see what the value of num is inside the method. And then, of course, the last thing that we have to do is return the value back to the calling program. So let's go up and look at the calling program. Up in main, I have a variable number that I've set to 12. Then I square it and write out that value so that we can see what number is when it's squared. And then I display its original value, or the value that number has after the method's been called. So with that in mind, let's take a look at the program itself. Let's run it. So we're going to compile javac cap 10 part 6.java, and then we'll run it. So you see that the first value that's displayed is the value of num in the method square, and it's 144. So that's from this line right here. So we've taken the argument, squared it, and we're displaying the squared argument. Then we display the value returned, which is right here, again 144. That's when we return the value from the method. Then we show the original value of number, which is 12. The point being is that even though we passed number to the method where I have highlighted right here, that value, 12, was a copy. So that even though we directly modified it here, when we go back and display it again, it's its original value. That's how pass by value works. It makes programs easy to understand, and you don't have to worry about, well, did that method change the value or did it not change the value? You always know that arguments are passed by value and that the argument's value will not be changed permanently in the method call. Other languages such as C++ do have a different way to do it called pass by reference, where you can actually pass the memory address or a pointer of a variable to a function or method and then modify it directly so that when you go back to the calling program, the value that is being computed in the function is now the value of the argument. But Java doesn't allow that, and by not allowing it, it makes the language a little bit simpler, easier to understand, and less likely to cause confusing errors. So that's how pass by value works, and this is a short lesson, but I just felt like before we left the topic of methods, you needed to understand a little bit about pass by value.